What's going on? We are back. Reality After Show. We are doing the follow up here of the Survivor Season 47 cast draft, giving out the coin, the money to the winner. I'm Lauren. With me, as always, is Adrian and Lyrsa from David vs. Goliath. What's going on, y'all?
Dude, a lot going on. It's been one heck of a season. It was a roller coaster ride. I think we ended up with a solid ending to the story, and I'm excited to talk about it. How are you doing, Lyrsa? Long time no see.
I know. I'm doing great. Because I won. It's my first draft winning, and I was so elated because, dimples and beautiful eyebrows.
That's all it takes to win.
I came in with no strategy picking people. I decided I'm going to go this time with beautiful dimples and eyebrows. It paid off. So maybe next season I'll do something regarding, I don't know, noses or like big ears or something like that.
That could be. You never know in Survivor what it's going to take to win that particular season.
And I remember when I picked Rachel, I think both of you said that maybe she was not going to be able to fit because of her background. We have so many consultants and shit like that. My girl did it.
Well, to be fair, okay, she shouldn't have won because she went on an immunity streak. She was invulnerable from being voted out from like the final 7 on.
Yeah, because she's great. Like, she won the challenge. It's not like she had an advantage that she practiced those puzzles before. No, she got them right there. So
absolutely. And kudos to her. Like, it was a very underdog and scrappy kind of game, and that's extremely impressive. Like, she's one of the top immunity winners in all of Survivor
Hall of Fame,
now.
Right?
Like,
into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, she's setting records. Like, that's great. That's phenomenal. Like, the unexpected challenge beast in Rachel. Like, wow.
Yeah, I feel she's the new era Wentworth, but she won. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I get the comparison, but you can't say that with the but she won because
it's not. It's wait. I'm not putting down Kelly's game. I love Kelly. Kelly's my girl. Mm-hmm. We know Kelly, you and I. But you know what I mean, that she had the chance and like people voted for her, right? So I think that if Kelly would have gotten the chance, she would have like.
Yeah. To be fair, you're not incorrect because in second chance, if Kelly does win that last individual immunity challenge, she's going to the end of that game and probably winning that game. Yep. So you're not completely wrong. If she could just have gotten that last immunity win and gotten herself into one of those seats, I think she's the clear winner there, most likely. But for me with Rachel, I kept saying it when we were on the mid-season. Her edit to me felt too obvious that she was going to win. Mm-hmm. But I am happy that we did see the winning game because we've seen in the new era sometimes we don't get the highlights of the winner enough and then we are confused why that person does win. So I'm glad that we finally got the full picture of the winner's game in Rachel.
I completely agreed on that. Like we were all saying, like, she's like the most obvious pick to win at that point, if I recall correctly. Like, there was a lot of talk about Genevieve, but we all thought that her threat level was too high. There was some speculation on Andy at that point in time as well.
Because of the edit,
yeah, because of the edit and that growth edit that they like to push. But Rachel was in that prime position where she was not top dog, but she was like the top of the misfits, so to speak. And we saw that game come through. And then what we saw in the next episode, if I'm not mistaken, was that people were starting to recognize that Rachel was the threat that we were all starting to see her fall immediately. And we were like, oh, okay, I guess she is going to get her comeuppance. But then she was able to pull it out with clutch win after clutch win, you know, and stayed immune for the entire fucking like end game. Like, great. Good on you. A W is a W.
I agree.
For the money.
Lyrsa's just so hyped up right now. You'll get your $40 at the end of this, I promise. But one thing we were very correct on. We were so right on Sue. We got that spot on.
Mhm.
She got clean. I was so excited the last episode that I finally saw her clean face. And she even looked pretty. I was like, oh my God, she looks way better when she's clean.
Oh yeah, no. I saw Sue in person at the. They did a CBS viewing party at Rutgers in New Brunswick in New Jersey, and I went to that, and I saw her in person. She's phenomenal clean. I highly recommend the clean look for her. It works.
It works. I mean, I did hear Sue was doing a ton with the fire, so that could lead to some of that, on her face and everything. But again, I think Sue.
But they told us that the last before the last episode.
Yes, towards the end.
At the end. So we're like, what the fuck is going on here, right? Until they freaking explain it.
Right, we were missing the context. But we'll talk about Sue for a second. I think Sue was needed there. There were moments with Sue. She had the whole immunity idol find with the paint. She gave us moments in this season where I'm happy that she was on the cast. She did need to be there. And she deserved to make it to where she did in the game. I don't think by any means that she was a GOAT. I did see the 0 vote finalist coming from her, but I think she did still have a good game, but not a good enough game to beat the two people sitting next to her.
Yeah, no, I anybody who is over 40 years old now is a rarity on Survivor in this new era. So I am a full-on supporter of anybody who is a senior citizen in Survivor, which to me, senior citizen is 39 and up.
Oh, how dare you! Oh my God! Let me tell you
Survivor
something.
Survivor senior.
Mira. My knees are fine. My back doesn't hurt. And I'm way far from getting Social Security. So.
Okay.
That's true.
That's okay. I'm over 42. So. What? Are we going challenge head to head now? Am I driving up there?
No. I'm joking.
Under 40s club. Yay. Okay. I'm doing just fine.
You baby.
I'm Lauren is you're like right in the middle of like our kickball team, right? Because you're 30.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle of the kickball squad.
Yeah, you're in the middle of it. I was really okay. So nobody ate the story that she was younger, except apparently Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Nobody was surprised when she said that.
Well, the jury's reaction, exactly. They just
but Sam was laughing.
Like, well,
Sam has also never had a kiwi, so
you saw Gabe's face too. It just they had to clip to the jury as soon as Sue said that. And the other problem was they were mostly focused on Sam and Rachel's FTC in comparison to Sue. Yeah. I will tell you this. Sam had an excellent FTC. If I'm sitting there, I highly consider voting for him because I'm not expecting him to come into that FTC with that fiery passion that he did. And I actually think he had a better FTC than Rachel did.
Mm-hmm. And I think in a different world, if Rachel fumbles, like she just had to take the ball across the line. That's all she had to do. And she didn't fumble. Sam had a phenomenal final tribal. But if Rachel didn't hold her own, I think we're looking at a different winner.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a world that exists where Rachel fumbles the ending and Sam can overtake that. Sam had as good of a tribal council as he possibly could have had. Like he bowled like a perfect game, but he was so far behind Rachel in terms of like the jury's perception that all she needed to do was hold her own and she wins.
So, Lyrsa, you might be able to help answer this some. How much of people that do go on the jury have their mind made up going into FTC before hearing all the facts from the people at the end?
I would love to know that answer, but I was just so short to go into
you talk to people, okay?
I feel that the reality is in the end, people see the whole game and how it was played. And they do take into consideration what other people went through, but I don't think that's a major decision in who you vote for. In my case, if I would have make it the jury, I was going to vote for Mike. Regardless, I think he in general played a better game, and he was nice to me. He didn't lie to me, except when he voted me out. But
the important time,
just one time. That's just one time when he lied to me. But I feel that his game was better, and he came out a changed person. For he grew in the game, right? He started as a underdog on his tribe, and so I will have voted for him. So I don't know. I don't think I personally will have been swayed by whatever somebody else said. I will have voted with how I interacted with each one person and what happened with me. Yeah.
And everyone's different, and that's the thing why you have a jury, because look at the previous season, 46. Kenzie was able to tailor to specific people and what they were looking for in a winner. And I think that's a big reason why she ended up winning. But in this case, in 47, I think a lot of the jurors' mindsets were who played the best game, who's going to represent this season. Because if people were thinking emotionally, you probably see a Sierra voting for a Sam there.
I thought Sierra was going to vote for Sam.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think Sierra changes her vote because she's just looking at the whole game as a picture. Not that Sam played poorly by any means, but she's like, I'm going to vote for the person that I think played the best game, no matter the relationship that I had with anyone. And Carolyn did the same thing.
Oh yeah. I agree there. I also was extremely surprised with the Sierra, but I think a lot of people have a front runner when going into the tribal. Like they say, okay, if everything is status quo and nothing changes, there's no bomb that's dropped at tribal or anything like that, this person is the front runner for me. I guess that they're going to be the one that gets my vote. Now, how strongly they feel about that person, let's say that varies on a scale of 1 to 10. Someone could have anybody could have it, but I guess if anybody's going to get it, it's going to be this person. Or it could be a case where the person is just this person, they're the best and nothing can steer me from that. And that's a person who has a strength 10 in their, how they feel about who they're going to be voting for. So I wouldn't say that there's an instance where it's, one or the other. It's either they know who they're voting for or they're not. I just think that there's just a degree of conviction that goes with each person's vote and how they plan on voting.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Teeny here. So I will say, Teeny had awesome moments in this season, especially the one where had a couple too many drinks. That was top tier television for me, because
those were my favorite moments. Yes.
Teeny's young, and so all right, you're thinking to yourself, maybe I'll just have a beer, and then it turns into 3-4 beers, and you start spilling information that you shouldn't be spilling, and then the confusion comes in.
Also remember that we're not getting any food, right? So we don't have a little thingy to hold the alcohol. So it's not even one beer can get you super tipsy. And then when you see so much food and beer, you're just going to start drinking in, and everybody's going to fail on you. And then we get rewards because we have great TV.
It was excellent. Did you drink on your season, Lyrsa?
No. We were not. Yeah, we were not. We won. My rewards were the shelter kit, which I won by myself, and I will always brag about that. And then what else we won? We all won the fire making kit because it rained so much that Jeff gave it to us. And we won the eggs, right? Because we have jackets and eggs, tobacco. And we won the fucking vegetable skewers, which I thought they had any fucking beef or chicken in it, and they were just vegetables, and got me so freaking angry. But they didn't give us any drinks with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my take on that. I just think drinking is the worst idea to do on Survivor because your mind kind of shifts. You start having conversations with people. I think it's a good strategy for someone else that might not be drinking to have someone get drunk because then they can kind of twist the mind, twist the brain a little bit. I think it's a strategy. I think it's a good move for people. You could get a couple drinks in somebody. They could start talking, spilling some information. But I'm shocked how many people, when the drinks come out on the show, do it. You're playing for $1 million. I don't know. That's just me, though.
There's other benefits to consuming certain types of alcohol. Like if I were on a season, I would steer clear of wine, or any hard spirit or anything like that. But beer in general, in particular,
it has wheat,
ton of carbohydrates to it.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of calories in it, and you are starved for calories when you're out there. Yeah. So that's something that obviously you're going to have a reaction to it because you haven't drank and you haven't eaten for so long. But typically, it's not served alone. It's served with other types of food. Which, if you are an experienced drinker, like you know how your body reacts in certain elements, and you definitely eat first, and then Don't go right to the drink.
You make a tiny little bed, and then you drink. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm. That would be a plan that I would have if I were ever to win a reward on the show.
I will eat first, and then I will drink.
Right. Yeah. I can agree with y'all on that. Beer definitely is going to fill you up, but the wine just going to give you a headache. Absolutely. Yeah. It's just that's going to wash you. But I get where you're coming from. I think everyone's different, but I just, anyone that drinks a little bit, you could say stuff you absolutely
drink the beer. Drink the beer.
Yeah.
You tell people not in your lines, drink the beer so I can know what's going on.
Was it Carl or Davey? It was Davey, right?
That poured the beer over their head?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it was Davey.
I think it was Davey that poured the beer over his head. I'm pretty sure.
But Carl got a little bit tipsy too.
That's why I get it.
Actually, Carl actually doesn't drink that much, and that's how he got
But yeah, going back to Teeny, I think it was a disappointment in the sense of the fire making challenge because you are so close, so right there. We see the rope burning. It's an inferno at one point, basically, and then just all of a sudden dying because of that wind, and then the momentum goes over to Sam. What I want to know is, what are the statistics of who sits on what side has won is really what I want to know, because that wind drastically changed that entire challenge right there.
Oh, 100%.
And I also want to know if they're able to stand up and block the wind, because I know that in Australia they can. Because I remember Michelle had to do fire in Australia, and the wind was coming in, and the same shit happened to her, and she just stand up and blocked the wind to win the challenge.
So I have heard through the grapevine that yes, you are indeed allowed to stand and block the wind. Teeny did not think about that, and at the time, sorry, Teeny, that didn't work. But there's a lot of knowledge about fire and how it burns, etc. Which is why you see someone like Mike Turner to be able to make fire really quick, somebody like Gabler to be able to make fire really quick. They know the mechanics and the physics behind it. But she built her fire directly under the rope, which, before you set your fire and you want to know where those flames are going to be going, you should be compensating for the wind that's available. You know which direction the wind is coming from before you start that challenge. You should be taking that into account. She didn't. That's fine. Sometimes people make mistakes and whatnot, but we can't blame it entirely on the weather because she had that knowledge prior to the challenge starting.
Who was the person that put all the coconut husk? Was it in US or Australia? And they threw all the coconut husk and it just blew up and burned the road.
I'm trying to think. I'm not sure.
Might be Australian.
I think it was
remember.
Australia.
I don't think it was the
I think it
US.
was Australia. Somebody in Australia just threw all the coconut husk in it, and it just like exploded. And burst.
Right.
Mhm.
No, exactly. Like there's just so many strategies that you can have with this. But what my point is, that has to be gut wrenching being that close, knowing that you could move forward. I don't think it changes anything in the sense of the winner at all if Teeny does get to the end of the game. It's just a matter of, does Sue get second place or does Teeny get second place, really is what you're looking at there. Because I think Kyle
Rachel won
said,
that.
yeah, Rachel wins that. But Kyle said
Yeah.
that he voted for Sam because that Sam deserves second place. And I do agree with that. I think out of the three, Sam did deserve the extra money, the second place finish. But yeah, Teeny was right there. Teeny didn't make it. And then we had Genevieve ending in 5th place. And we all kind of saw that coming. We didn't think Genevieve was going to have a chance to get to the end. But I did enjoy seeing the dynamic between Genevieve versus Rachel, because we have not really seen that type of dynamic in terms of two ladies having the back and forth with each other. So I'm happy that they were able to give that storyline this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's always good to get different combinations of people, I think, so that way you can get those types of storylines. And Teeny, unfortunately, like Teeny was looking I was so on board with Teeny the last time we spoke, and she took a hard turn immediately afterwards, and I just said, and then like her entire edit like shifted to this like she was like semi-emotional prior, but it just got to a point where like her emotions were just getting the better of her strategy and the better of her thought process. It was affecting her judgment. I think that like she was phenomenal. I think she was great television, etc. The end game didn't work out in her favor due to being overly emotional, but that's something that comes with being young. I mean, she's what, 23?
I think probably 22 at the time.
22.
Yeah, it was filming. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that's something that like, in like 5 years, I think Teeny's going to be a phenomenal player. Once they get a little bit more control over that aspect of their personality, I think that they're going to be a phenomenal Survivor player. I think that if they come back, maybe not in 50, but if they were to come back in like 55, I think that they would have a great chance of making it extremely far into the game. Their social game is very, very good.
It is.
They're well liked by people very easily. They just need to be able to keep their emotions in check further down the road. And that's the only tweak that I would recommend to her game.
I have to say that I cut my hair recently, and I think I got the Teeny haircut.
Is that how it's going to be called, the Teeny haircut? Is that?
I mean, I just like, I had a cap on, but when I just like blow dry it, it kind of looks like Teeny's. So I got the
when
Teeny
you
haircut.
meet Teeny, just stand next to each other, take a photo, and then we can compare the Teeny haircut. And there you go.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
After
Actually, Jamil's mom, Jam's mom, cut my hair. So when she finished, I'm like, oh my god, I love it. And then I'm like, I kind of look like Teeny now, because she also took all the blonde out, most of it. Now I have like kind of like frost tips. I look like Justin Timberlake in 2002.
So you're Justin Timberlake and Teeny combined into one person.
Yeah,
that is a wild combo.
Just Teeny.
Just Teeny.
Oh my goodness, that's so perfect.
I love it.
Yes. But,
all right. So next, who are we talking about? Genevieve?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Genevieve. We said a few words, but I would like to see Genevieve return in the future. She would be at the top of my list to see come back from this season. I don't know about y'all on that. I think if Rachel's not there, maybe Genevieve is able to sneak in there to get to the end, but you don't know, which is why I would like to see Genevieve play again, because I think Genevieve is someone that can come back after seeing this season. And because Genevieve was playing without much emotion, trying not to get too close to people because she didn't want to hurt them. But then she was starting to feel like, oh, I am close to some of these people. How am I going to navigate this? So I think she's someone that could learn from watching the season back.
I think Genevieve was probably one of the top 2 best players on the season.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like they're a well-rounded player. I think with a little bit more preparation on her part, maybe going to the gym and getting better in the physical challenges. I think that she has a great area where she can improve to maybe make those like last immunity win to get to that final 4 fire making. That's where I think that like from a social and from a strategic standpoint, I think Genevieve is impeccable as a player. I think that she definitely deserves a spot to come back at some point, whether it's 50 or not. I think that's something that we can discuss. But maybe we could do like a who do we think should be on 50 podcast. I don't know, but she's a phenomenal player. Like, and from the beginning of the season, when we didn't see anything of her for like the first 3 episodes, we were playing like Where's Waldo with her.
Right. Yep.
Like we didn't even know that she was on the season until episode 4 where she gets rid of Kashan. Phenomenal player. Like phenomenal like glow up from her. I want to see it again.
Lyrsa, what do you think?
I think okay, so she was on my draft and then I got upset when she voted Soul out because Soul was my last pick, and I regret that because I mean I don't regret freaking Rachel. What I'm trying to say is like I didn't see any connection with him. Like I don't know, he didn't give me any vibe that I could connect with this guy, and throughout the season, like he won my heart over. So that got me really upset, and I went Tinimo. I couldn't get over her voting Soul. So I wanted her out. She did really good, right? Like you said, Adrian, but I feel that she can better her social game.
Okay.
I think she was way too detached from the players because she just wanted to like be this cutthroat person and not have any feelings when she had to vote out people. But at the same time, you need to connect with those people on way more, like in a really personal level. Because at the end, if you make it to the end, these people are the ones that are gonna vote for you. And I feel like people really underestimate the social part of the game. And I feel like the social part of the game, it's mostly what gives a lot of people their wins. Because we have great players that make it to the end and they don't win because their social game is really bad. So if she betters her social strategy, she can easily come back and possibly win. Yeah, I can see that.
Right on. That's why I said too that she's someone that would benefit from rewatching her season just to see how other people are making those relationships and forming them, and how the reactions are of other cast members and how they react to her individually, and what does she change up about that and how can she improve upon that. But I like Genevieve as a player. I think she'll be back, maybe not 50, but I think she'll be back in the future for sure. And yeah, what do you think, Adrian? I know you have something at the tip of your tongue.
No, like I mean, Genevieve is Genevieve. I mean, she's like we constantly see it with these crazy Canadians. They're phenomenal at Survivor. Like, have we seen a Canadian that has not been amazing?
Oh, you're asking me to do a lot of research right here.
Yeah.
You are Canadian.
Like every Canadian that plays this game is just, they're on point. I mean, we had Marianne, we had Omer, we had
Erica
from season 41. We had Caleb from 45. I mean, maybe Kane from 44.
Yes, yeah, come on now. That's Kane is not on the list.
Okay, so like he's probably the worst Canadian that's played, and he still made it like final 8, final 9. Like, that's still a solid showing from everybody. Like, actually, no, the worst Canadian was the first one. Tom, right? That was his name from 39, the hockey player.
Did we have a Canadian that was on pre?
Yeah, he was a professional hockey player, a retired professional hockey player in season 39. He was.
Oh my God, I was muted. Yeah, he was. He was the first Canadian.
Okay, he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing is anything. now that we're in the new era segment at the moment, anything below 40 at this point, you're expecting me to remember that Tom was the Canadian. That's a stretch right now.
Okay, well, that's all you need to know is that he was the first Canadian.
Canadian Tom.
Show some respect.
Well, I also try to not have 39 part of my memory most of the time, so
That's fair. That's fair.
You block it out.
I think I have said it before. Once the season ends, unless you are like really unforgettable like me, I forget about you. Like I reset every season. I forget everything from the season before and previous, and then start the new one. Like,
well, it's good that we got this podcast in now.
Don't ask me anything from like 10 years ago because I don't remember shit.
You at least remember your season, so that helps when we need like examples of things. You know, it really does.
And I only saw it once.
That's
No,
I don't blame you. I honestly don't blame you for that. Let's talk about Andy though, because
big Andy.
I would love to see Andy back.
I think he's a shoo-in. Like, if anybody on this cast comes back, it's Andy. He's the first call.
You think that he comes back for 50, though? Is he going to be on 50? That is the real question.
I don't think they're going to go people from this season and the next one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know some rumor people. But I haven't heard anybody from this season.
I would be very surprised if they don't bring anybody back from 47, considering that this is the most highly
overall likable cast.
Yes.
This has been the best season of the new era.
Season. It's a season that everybody likes the cast. Yeah.
Yeah, like are you trying to bring more people back from what 41? Like,
oh no, please. Don't do that to me. No.
Exactly. So it's like
From what I know, there will be no winners.
I'm totally fine with that.
Perfect.
And it's going to be a second chances. Hopefully
that's what I want.
A second chance and not a fourth chance.
Yeah, I don't want to see Boston Rob play for the 6th time. Like, we're going to watch him on the Traders.
Can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, I'm fine with that. I don't need the 4-time players. I really don't. Yes, if it's a Legends season, I get it. But there's also Legends that aren't 4-time players, 3-time players. Some of them were just 2-time players. And the fact with no winners, totally cool with that too, because that's why Winners at War was there. I do feel bad for some of the Winners at War people.
They got $1 million.
Well, listen. No,
I feel bad for them.
No, I feel bad for
we had this conversation yesterday.
The ones that got snuffed from the season that should have been on the season. I'm upset for those people that they didn't get a chance to play that should have been there. That's what I'm upset about. Now, listen, they shouldn't have asked everybody back. We don't need some of them, but some of them definitely should have been on that cast that were not.
Okay, I can get on board with that. But it's like, okay. But yeah, no, I mean, this isn't a Survivor 50 podcast. We have a whole nother time.
Well, let's go back to Andy. Let's go back.
Big Andy, my man. Real nice guy. Great game. Phenomenal. Astonishingly growth oriented. Was not anticipating this. You look at Andy in episode 1, like Survivor always likes to show like the rags to riches story, you know, that like that growth arc. This was probably, I think, the best version of it that they've ever done.
He did a flippin'.
But do you think he did it better though?
I do.
I think he did better.
I think he did better. Yeah. I think he did better. He did a flippin'. Now we have a name for that situation.
He did a flippin'.
It's a David Wright. It's a David Wright. We can close it.
But better, honestly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that this is the best version of that storyline that they've concocted. Whether it was intentional from the get-go, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but it was 100% the best version of the growth arc that we've ever seen in Survivor. Kudos to Andy. Amazing job. Freaking plurality vote. You know, like ridiculous. Like
so fun to watch.
Yeah, Operation Italy was incredible.
It was incredible, even though it didn't pan out after it occurred for them moving step forward. It's still an iconic vote out that people are going to talk about. People are going to remember. There's one person I do want to mention. So Carolyn, I feel so bad because we did not get the edit that jury members were talking about, because apparently she was playing a very good game, because when they interviewed jury people about who they thought was playing well, at least 2 people thought she was playing the best game. So we weren't getting a storyline out there, which sucks, but they can't show everything. So if you're not one of the people that's going even slightly a bit further, you might just miss stuff in the season that you can't showcase to us as viewers. Because remember us when we were talking about her, we're like, no shot, no chance. And then
based on the edit.
Based on the edit, yes. And then we hear what people from the jury say, and I'm like, all right, what did I miss? What did I not see? Now I'm intrigued to know what she did, because it sounds like she was wheeling and dealing.
I was laughing because I remember when my season came up and my mom would call me after. There wasn't one episode I wasn't shown at all. And my mom called me because she was upset because I wasn't on it. Why wasn't on it? And I'm like, because I'm not important. Like, I don't make it that far, so they're not going to waste their time on me. It's not my show, Mom. And she's like, they need you there. They need more of you. I'm like, no, I don't make any sense of the story. So, yeah. But, yeah, I wonder what happened that we didn't see, right? Because I remember I picked Cole because I didn't like her picture. I'm like, this girl is not going to last like 7 days there. And then she made it so far. And I would love to know exactly what was going to happen, what was happening behind the cameras.
Yeah, no. And what was left on the editing floor is typically telling of a lot of things that we don't know about the cast and their experiences out there. Like apparently she had a phenomenal game. That was evidented by how the jury spoke about her. We just didn't get a chance to see it, and that's just unfortunately the byproduct of not having 24-hour feeds. Like, this is not Big Brother. This is a produced show that's recorded and edited for maximum entertainment value, and that's just something that we have to accept when we're watching this show. We're just never going to know the entire story.
Right, and that's why we say, based on the edit and what we're seeing, I don't think this person has a chance to win, because we don't know everything behind the scenes. If we did, then maybe our mindset would change. We could have said, well, I think she's playing a great game. We just didn't know what the game was because they didn't give it to us, and that's okay. She could be a dark horse to return on a future season. We've seen it with a couple people, like, for instance, on Parvati's first season. We didn't see too much from Parvati. Parvati comes back. And then you see what happens from there and progresses all the way on to heroes versus villains and everything from thereafter. So it can happen to people where I almost say too, and you see it with Amber from All Stars. I think you're almost in a better position if you come in as that type of player, because eyes are not on you. So it's almost not a bad thing if you do land yourself on a returnee season.
Oh, 100%. Everything is all threat level. When it comes to Survivor, and the thing with returning player seasons, is that your threat level is predetermined walking onto the beach when you step on, and managing whatever that threat level is different depending on how you placed in your previous season and how you portrayed on your previous season. And someone like Caroline, I'm sorry. She was not portrayed as a very threatening individual. She was not portrayed as a power player. And that is how anybody who would be on the beach with her would view her coming into it, unless they've met her in real life and have other perceptions that are outside and off camera. But I think that she would have a phenomenal shot to make a deep run if she was going to return, unless they turned it into some sort of like lions versus lambs kind of gameplay.
For sure. Well, y'all, anything else we want to hit with 47? We kind of went over everyone that we left off with at the break pretty much. Do y'all have any other final thoughts before we put a bow on this phenomenal season, phenomenal cast?
I mean, I'm super happy that Survivor is back. I feel like we have lost it since 2018-ish. I feel like the seasons are finally back to being what I remember Survivor being.
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody in production. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, casting. We finally have a product that I absolutely adore and love, and am excited for 48 on the horizon.
Yeah, same. I mean, the editing this season was so good. I enjoy it. I laughed so much because of the edit. It was so great. I want to know who decided on all of that, because it was like fantastic.
Those Andy moments.
Yes, and and Sue her confession was like hilarious. So I'm looking forward to 48 and winning more money.
You'll see. You got to drop the Venmo after this podcast, and I'll send you your 20.
I'll send it in the chat.
Okay, send it in the chat. But you'll get your money. Do what you will with $40. It's not as much as it used to be. Back 15. 20
I can
years
pay
ago.
for the dodgeball registration. I think at least half of it, or kickball. So
Perfect. There you go. You got your recreation money right there. Well, Adrian, Lyrsa, always a pleasure talking Survivor, having y'all on the podcast. Everyone, be sure to check out everything that's going on at the Reality After Show. So much new content is going to be coming. Traders starts tonight. It starts at 9 Eastern time on Peacock. I believe they're dropping the first 3 episodes tonight.
Correct.
So check those out and then look at the schedule after that, because I don't know what the schedule is. And with that, have a good one, y'all.
see you
Cheerio.
next season.
Much